What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your co-hosts, David. We're coming at you from our studio here in the Raiders Can't Keep It Together, Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays live shows. Before we get to the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that anyone says on this channel should be taken as financial advice, especially from Raiders fans. So please, as always, do your own research. Speaking of content, today we're talking Cardano hard fork has been initiated. It is coming September 22nd. It is official. We're going to talk about that. Also, some Ethereum FUD after the merge. We have a special segment from our friend Forrest. We'll talk about that. And then also, the Ripple case seems to be coming to an end very, very soon. Motions were filed. Judgments have been asked to be made, and we'll talk about that, plus much, much more. With that being said, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome! Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here in Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do the deep dives. We do street interviews here on the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. We also do YouTube shorts, and periodically we upload random content and play to earn videos and all kinds of cool stuff. So a lot of things in the pipeline. And the only way you will not miss any of our content if you're itching for the next vid is with the subscribe button, is with the notification bell, and most importantly, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you like the like button sign, drop a like button on the video. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah? You like?
Wow.
It's amazing, right?
Amazing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how was that intro?
1.
Okay.
Like the girl saying on the video is at least a 10.
At least.
From 1 to 10, at least a 10.
All right.
That was so funny.
Heads up, everybody. In case you didn't catch the video, we did do our first upload of our street interviews. That went live about an hour ago. And so if you're new to that segment or haven't had a chance to watch it yet, what we're doing, pretty transparent. We put microphones in people's faces. We ask them questions. And we just try to get a fun side out of Las Vegas, represent the hometown a little bit. This is our first video. We got the second one already done, or at least recorded. And so
The second one.
if you guys like this first video,
Oh my God.
they're gonna be they're gonna be better and better every week.
Guys,
we got,
this next one is this one's good, but the next one, guys.
Yeah.
Wait and
So
see.
yeah, guys, we're aiming to air these on Saturdays. So expect these to come out every Saturday. Today premiere was on Monday because we wanted to open up our show and talk about it. But moving forward, we'll probably have those on every Saturday. Also, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Man, oh man.
Hold on, man. Have the roll call.
I was just
It was a thought.
I had to get it out there, man. Bitcoin
Wow. Bitcoin.
things is moving, bro. And it might not be in the direction you like it. Unless you're looking for a buy order like myself. Then you're like, oh yeah.
Looking juicy.
Woo! Boy, got the coin on the side. I'm like, I'm hungry, bro. I'm like at a buffet here in Las Vegas with all you can eat crab legs, and your boy hasn't eaten lunch. You know what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
all right. So taking a look, let's get into the roll call. All right. First up in the chat today, we got Jason. Can I get a round of applause for Jason? Thank you, Jason. You are much appreciated, much loved here. Now we got Broke Yoshi, Stereo 2 on the ones at 2, Jonathan, Josh Sharif. We got Big Chili Willie, followed by Lala, Servando, and Marky Mark, K Factor, Redman, Handy, Nordy, and then we got Why You Loud Gang, and for Crypto 420, Atomic Atom, and Wheelin' Dealin' James Wheeler is up in here as well. And then we got IJ. Do you know?
Yeah.
IJ. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Big Swole rounds it out as well. And Crypto Freedom is probably a bot, but hey, if you're not a bot, say hello. And then, yeah, that's all I got there. 26 people in here.
Wow.
A little low. What's going on? Where's everybody at?
It's a little low as F.
I think P and Destroyer just popped in too.
Should we talk about this Raiders game?
Man, you know, the Raiders were winning at the very end of the game, and they just straight. What happened?
Hunter Renfro, bro.
I was like,
Fumble 6, bro. Fumble Rooski.
I was like watching the game. I thought it was done and over with. I went and started making myself a sandwich. I turned around and
did you overcook the sandwich?
You can't overcook a sandwich.
That's
I go
my
straight
point.
cold deli meats, man. I don't do all that weird heating up deli meats. Just
You see my
unless
boy,
unless you're doing a panini.
you see my boy, the drummer, the barbecue chicken pizza guy.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe you and the drummer. Maybe you should open up a street band.
Yeah.
Maybe you do like the bass guitar, and he
Yeah.
does the drums.
fresh
No, I'm
squeeze
more of a
barbecue
ukulele kind of guy.
juice.
Oh, Crypto Freedom said he's not a bot.
Okay.
Crypto Freedom. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Hello, Freedom.
And Enzo Mining in here as well. So, and then IJ, it's a hola without the H. This is Portuguese hola. We
Without
ain't,
the
dropping,
H,
we
my
ain't
friend.
dropping that Espanol hola up in here.
Yeah. Portuguese.
And now Wheeling Dealing James Wheeler is also a big Raiders fan. I went with him to a
Just
Raiders
lost all
game
respect for you,
last year.
James.
James, are you taking me to another game this year? I'll buy the drinks and the popcorn.
Robin's always looking for something free.
I mean, would you rather pay for it or would you rather get,
Well, someone's got to pay for it.
rather it not be me?
James, there you go. Feel free. All right. So, crypto dumped over the weekend. Has recovered a little bit. And we'll talk about price action and why and where things are going. So, without further ado, I am going to kick it off to Robin for the Market Watch.
All right. All right. So getting into Bitcoin sitting at $18,984. And now we're over 19,000. Look at that. Oh, now we're under 19,000.
Okay.
All right, look at that. So basically we're at the 19K level here now. 19 is a new 20 apparently. And I was looking at the charts today and I pulled up to 3 month and I'm like, wow, that's the lowest we've been in 3 months. And then I thought about it and I was like, well, it's probably the lowest we've been in 2 years. And so you have to go all the way back to to November of 2020 to get to the level that we were at. So basically all of the gains from 2020 since November have been erased.
Robin,
Look at that, man.
Avalanche, $17, Solana, $31. What are you buying? 2 years. Got to hold it. 2 years.
Hold on, man. I'm in the middle of a thing here. All right, what did you say?
I'm very spontaneous. Avalanche, $17, Solana, $31, 2-year hold.
Okay, Solana. I mean, why you? I'm not a long-term believer in Solana. I think they'll be around long-term, but I'm not like. I feel like their business model is not It hasn't played out very well so far.
Yeah.
Now they immediately scaled right off the rip, which is I think because there was such a congestion and scaling problem with the last bull run, the only like layer one that had smart contracts that could have the throughput needed realistically out of the big players was Solana. Nobody else was really had that on the table, right? I mean, is there any layer one that had smart contracts that had the speed Solana did?
Are we talking like recently?
No, when it was on its historic rise, where it got, basically mid 2021. So basically, the options for if you wanted to have a fast, you wanted to enable enough people in a large network to facilitate transactions in a fast and cheap way, Solana really was your only option, realistically. I mean, there was other ones, but I'm telling you, out of the top players, Solana's the only one knocking that thing out of the park fast. So I think out of just sheer lack of competitiveness and with the effectiveness of Solana's throughput, I think people just went Solana. And now you're seeing the rollout of Cardano's Vasil hard fork, where throughput is going to start exponentially increasing. You have Ethereum finally knocking out the merge, and now they can start getting on the sharding and rollups. And so you're not going to stand out as much, Solana, right? Yeah. Solana's going to be just, kind of the same ballpark as everybody else as far as throughput, speed, and transaction costs, with the exception of Ethereum at the moment. But eventually, Ethereum will become faster and cheaper. It's just still not there. But if you're forecasting out to the next bull market, I mean, I think everyone else is going to catch up by then, and they're not going to have the lights going out problem that Solana has, or at least I'd assume they don't.
Right.
And so, what case can you make that Solana is so much better than everybody else at that point? I don't see it. And if you have a unblemished track record as far as your network going down, and the likes of like Cardano and Avalanche, I know they're not without any kind of hiccups at all, but they haven't had any major issues like a network going down.
Well, the network did almost get completely wiped out. We talked about that on Thursday or Friday. They got lucky for Avalanche.
Avalanche. Yeah, and I mean, there could be some doom on the horizon.
We're still super early. That's what you guys got to remember. The technology is here, but harnessing that technology and working with it.
Do you see what I was saying when we were doing our street interviews? You realize when you just talk to the general population that it's like 1 to 5% of people that even have a smidgen of understanding of crypto. And when I say smidgen, I'm just talking about like are familiar with Bitcoin. Like they understand that you can buy and sell it and that it sells on exchanges. Most people, like, they've only just heard of it. They might have bought a meme coin, maybe, but I'm saying 95% of people. That's why I've been on this, like, and we always go back for. I'm like, bro, the adoption is not there. People are not the masses, the population.
Let alone adoption, just
straight like
the what's the word I'm looking for?
Just exposure.
Exposure.
The exposure. Even the most basic understanding or education ain't there. And I think it also stems from the fact that there's a lack of education when it comes to finances and period.
Yep.
People
can't even understand the stock market, let alone dive into crypto.
In school, right now in grade school, they're not teaching you about how the Federal Reserve works. They're not teaching you about how money supply works and how politics work. And the funny thing is
they
that
don't want us to know. That's why they don't want us to understand.
They really don't. And I think if people understood how things worked and saw the failures of politics and the mismanagement monetary system that we have here in the States and around the world, frankly, I think it would be eye-opening to learn that at such a young age, because you could be a child of innocent mind and you don't need to be, a Harvard grad to look at the numbers and basically just understand the basics and be like, hey, this doesn't seem right, man. This whole printing and this whole passing, the budget and overspending and borrowing and bonds.
You know what I did notice, Rob, and obviously not every single street interview went into the video. We got a lot more people who at least had heard of crypto that were not from the U.S. Like the couple from Argentina. We had a few people from the U.K. We had one person from, I want to say Italy or France. But it seems like on a global stage, if you take the U.S. out of it, crypto exposure is a lot more far advanced than what it is here in the U.S. So will that change? Who knows? But the beauty about crypto is even if the U.S., which is the largest economy in the world, even if they don't, if we don't grasp onto that, you still have 200 and some odd other countries that are still there that can still push crypto up into what it should be. So very interesting. Anyways, let's get back to the markets. I know XRP was pumping over the weekend.
Yeah, so
We got some news on that. We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
It's down 8% right now.
Well, everything's down, but at one point, I believe over the weekend,
it's leading the pack though.
it was up like 10%.
So taking a look here, we have out of the top 10, XRP is down 8%, and nobody else is over 4. So now, as we mentioned, they did have a rally over the weekend. And so maybe it's just, a natural pullback. They're still up 2% for the week. So as you can see here, everything's in the red for the week, with the exception of XRP. So just your general retracement here. And then taking a look at the biggest gainers here for the week, we have helium up 9%.
I like the fact you skipped over the first one. Thank you.
Well, yeah, that's trash anyway. That's supposed to be a stablecoin. 3 cents, in case you're wondering. And then you got the Luna Classic. Anyways, also ApeCoin had a big rally this weekend. It's still up 4%. Chili's is up 25%. Fear and Greed Index 21. Yesterday's 27. I'm a little fearful of what this is going to come in now that we're in the 18,000s.
You think we'll see sub 10 again anytime in the near future? I mean, like by the end of the year?
No,
me neither.
I think people are unless Bitcoin gets to like 7,000 or something.
Ooh.
But you could have a second wave of cascading liquidations come in.
Right.
They're the pain for these custodial services and exchanges that perhaps are insolvent. At some point, the system's going to break if they're mismanaged. Ethereum, I do want to highlight, yesterday dropped all the way down, I think 1280, I think it was what I saw. Is it the lowest?
Yeah.
So $1,280.
Guys, for the
I'm not at all like one of those like I told you so guys at all. But I mean, I think the general consensus was, hey man, buy the rumors, sell the news is gonna happen. And we were kind of giving you this kind of play-by-play of what Ethereum was going to look like. And, we started beating the drum on this $1,000 Ethereum. We're like, hey, man, this thing's about to rally. It got almost up to $2,000. If you take a look at the 3-month chart here, actually, I think it hit $1,900. And then I remember I had actually exited my position at 1,600. And I remember a couple of people that I know were like, oh, I can't believe you sold. And I'm like, you know what? I know I'm going to miss the top. That's fine with me. And I've been, I exited 100% at 1,600, expecting a pullback. And then now we are at 1,300. I was talking last week, I think Friday, I was saying I think $1,200, $1,250 would be the bottom. And so far that's holding true. I think we could see lower, but I still think $1,200 is probably firm support. And on top of that, even if it does dip down, I don't think it would stay down there too long. Well, that's what we do have the Fed meeting coming up as well.
Oh, guys,
that starts tomorrow.
We got bad news.
What's that?
About the Fed meeting.
Yeah, so Fed meeting starts tomorrow. We should know on Wednesday when the what the federal fund rate is going to be. Expectations is 0.75%, 75 basis points. But it's becoming more and more possible that we're going to see
we're seeing 100.
100. I don't think so.
Mark my words. Mark my words.
CME. The CME is
we will
the
see
Chicago Mercantile
I don't give a shit about
Exchange.
The CME.
They increased it.
I don't care.
It's about 20% likelihood of a 100 basis point now, up from 16.
Mark my words. 100 basis point rate hike is coming.
And then taking a look at the broader markets, we have the Nasdaq. Everything's flat. I think we're usually before you get the Fed fund rate here as of recently. So this is going to be Wednesday. Usually you get a calm before the storm. 75 basis points. We probably will get a small rally, maybe a couple percent up.
We'll get a
on
rally
that.
if it's 75 for sure.
And I still don't think it's going to be anything drastic, though. Even then, I think you might get one or 2 day quick pump, and that's it.
Honestly, even if we saw 100, I don't think we're going to see a 3-4% drawdown. We'll dip.
Oh no,
we're not going to tank.
Oh no,
I think
there's 100 basis point, the floor is falling out, bro.
No.
I'm telling you,
I don't believe so. I think part of the 100 has been priced in. Part of the 100, not the whole thing.
No. The
you think we're gonna
experts
see another 4 or 5% drop.
Experts are not expecting a 1%. And if that happens, you're gonna
doesn't matter what
up.
the experts are thinking. What are the traders thinking?
That's what I'm saying. The traders, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is the traders. Like that is literally the traders. Like literally the futures traders, the traders that are expecting it. They're basing their insight, their predictions is on 75 basis points. And when you shock the markets, you shock the markets.
I don't think it's going to be a shock. I don't know.
It's not. We're not talking about. We're not talking about a
speculating.
CNN analyst here or a Fox News analyst or whatever it is. Like we're talking to the exchanges themselves are predicting an 80% chance of the CME or of the interest rate coming in at 0.75. And so there, if you want to know what the traders are doing, literally that's the odds from the traders. So it's a 1-for-1 correlation, bro.
Robin, I got a good news.
What's that?
Your second true love is here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Second true love?
Lovey.
I got more than one?
Lovey.
Lovey, huh?
See Lovey?
Oh, Lovey. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
What's up, Lovey?
And then we yeah, that's it. All right.
Welcome to the best crypto community.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention.
No, he's not here yet.
The 10-year treasury jumps up to 3.51%.
No good.
No
good.
Basically, they increase these rates when people aren't buying them. And so as
I mean, if you break it down to its core element, it's essentially the government trying to raise money. And why would you raise interest rates? To lure in more investors. So people just don't believe in the U.S. economy in the short term.
If people ain't buying, you got. It's the same thing. Like it's just marketing basically on a federal level. You know, if you're sitting on a crap ton of frying pans, you need to get rid of them, and your shelves are stocked up, and you haven't sold any, you got to drop the price.
Right.
Same thing here. You need to incentivize people to buy 10-year Treasury bonds because a lot of people aren't going in on it, and so you gotta incentivize them with a higher interest rate. And the 2-year Treasury bonds at 3.9%. It's about to hit the 4% level. So the 10-year Treasury gained to 3.518. This is the highest level since April of 2011. And the 2-year Treasury also rose up, and the gap between the two is widening. And why don't even mention that? Because traditionally you can always look at the 2 and the 10-year Treasury bond, and when you get a higher percentage return from the 2-year versus the 10-year, which they call the flip, because generally it's the
yield
opposite. When the yield inversion flips to the 2-year, it's always a sign of recession. And
when he says always, he means always.
Yeah, 100%. And so another indicator.
Here's something else I was hearing a lot of over the weekend is the FedEx stock just tanked. And previous, I believe, federal chairs or treasury secretaries have looked at the FedEx stock as a precursor to where the economy is going.
FedEx, like the mail
FedEx
carrier?
Correct. Yeah, FDX. There was a lot of talk about it on Twitter. A lot of podcasts I listened to were talking about it. So, guys, I don't remember macro looking this bad. I don't even think 2008, because 2008 just happened so fast. Here, it's like we're literally watching everything unfold right in front of our eyes. And we'll see. But I have a few things that I want to share. So the first thing I want to share is the So this is the top 100 coin market calendar, all the events happening. You have an EOS is forking. EOS is forking if you still use that. Obviously, the big one today that we're going to talk about, Vasil, is coming September 22nd. It is official. Charles did an AMA, said we cannot stop it even if we wanted to. Theta is doing an upgrade to their mainnet. They will introduce Wrap Theta and staking. I believe staking as well. And then if I scroll down a little bit, if you're a Kava fan, there you go. Now, why am I so certain? I share this, and I'm going to share this again. I shared this on Friday. Why am I so certain we're going to see a 100 basis point rate hike right here? I've talked about this ad nauseum. The euro dollar, the world's deepest liquidity derivatives market there is out there. So the euro dollar measures all of the US dollars that are held in non-Fed registered banks. So banks across the world that are not registered or don't have an account with the Fed. This is about as accurate as it gets. And if we go back to June here, where we saw this massive drop in the euro dollar, if you remember, this was the very first 75 basis point rate hike, which no one was expecting. And that rate hike happened on the 14th of June. And guess what? A week before, the euro dollar just dipped. You can see here, it doesn't always... What? Oh, I thought you said something. My bad. Even when we get rate hikes, we don't see gaps, okay? You'll see drops, but you don't see gaps. You didn't see a gap in the 75 basis point rate hike in July because everyone was expecting it. But guess what? We just gapped on the 13th. On the 13th to the 14th, we gapped down. I can say with 95% certainty that we will see a 100 basis point rate hike. Okay? Yeah. You want to take a side bet? Let's take a side bet, bro. Do my research. Another thing I want to look at.
95% of certainty.
Yep.
He said, okay, there's a 20% chance that
That's what the CME does. I don't give a shit. I am saying, based on my research and everything I've read and look at.
Can I cut this segment out when it's 0.75 and replay it?
Okay. Dude, if I am wrong, I zero problem admitting I'm wrong. Zero. So another thing I want to take a look at is the Dixie. Looks like we are moving up again. Couple of hammers here. Shooting stars here we see, or inverted hammers. Not really happening towards the top or bottom of a certain trend, but this does signify a bearish scenario. You can see bulls, or for this one, it's a bearish scenario. Bulls try to push the price back up, but we are settling towards the bottom of this wick here. As long as we don't cross over this 110, if we get into the 110s, you're going to see crypto stock market start dumping again. And if we take a look at Bitcoin, good news on price action in the short term. Looks like we have a beautiful cup and handle forming here. Cup and handle, you got the cup bottoming out here, and then we got a little handle that's trending downwards. We will see cup and handles typically do break to the upside. This is all TA, but I want to make a note. It does not matter. TA won't matter if we come in at 100 basis points, just to let you guys know. So we want to see this thing go down, not past 18.3, and then we should see a move to the upside, retest of this trend line, and go up. And then finally, I want to take a look at the ADA chart. We did just break below this big head and shoulders pattern. This is on the 4-hour chart. We are looking to come test this neckline again, which is right at 46 cents. What we want to see is we want to see a move, test the neckline, break above it, retest again, and then come back and test this right shoulder height, which is about 49 cents. Will Vasil be enough to push it there? Who knows? Who knows? But we'll keep an eye on it. And then finally, I want to take a look at liquidations. Over the last 24 hours, we've had over $400 million in liquidation, over 223% up from the previous 24 hours, and leading the pack again is Ethereum. We've seen this now 2-3 times since the merge. Typically, Bitcoin always leads the pack in liquidations, but since the merge, we have seen Ethereum do it. And then ETH Classic also getting liquidated as well, 13.6 million over the last 24 hours. And 78% of longs in the overall crypto market have been liquidated. So that's all I got. Robin, you got anything else you would like to add or talk about or subtract or
subtract? No, I'm good.
You're good? All right. Let's get into what was on our thumbnail, what was on everything we talk about today. We are going to talk about ADA Cardano, the Vasil hard fork has been initiated. This is sourced from BN Crypto. The Vasil upgrade is in its final stage and is expected to go live September 22nd. Now, it's important to keep in mind some of the upgrade effects would only become visible closer to September 27th. So it's not like the hard fork gets initiated and bam, everything, 100,000 transactions per second. But no, it's going to take some time. But as long as this hard fork goes off without a hitch, that is what we are most worried about. And it is designed to drastically improve scalability through output, script efficiency, and latency in block transmissions. Robin, we're both big Cardano fans. Vasil, is it going to be like the merge where we'd see a little run up and then prices just drop when it happens? Or what are you expecting for price action?
Oh, man. It's not Vasil. It's Vaseline because we're about to lube up the volume, baby. This thing's about to rally, man. They're like, watch out, man. I'm telling you. This is my entry point, man. This is my entry point. I was telling you yesterday. I told you yesterday, man. I am looking for this buy position when it comes to Cardano. I just don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna pull the trigger yet. And you know what? If Bitcoin was still at 20K, and I just have a feeling Bitcoin's gonna dump harder. And because of that reason, I don't know if it's the right time yet. I'm probably gonna start DCAing in chunks with the short-term time horizon to fulfill all of my orders. So I think I'll probably go 25% of a buy that I have. Stablecoin that I have set aside for this, I'll probably go 25%.
44 cents?
Probably today, tonight when I get home.
What is a number that you would just pull the trigger on all of it? 35 cents?
I don't know, man.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, mid 30 cents sounds really good to me.
Okay.
I would probably, because here's the thing, I'm not looking at the price of Cardano. Price of Cardano isn't what I'm looking at for when it comes to entry. It's the price of Bitcoin. And so right now, Bitcoin settled back at 19,000. I think you could see 17,000, 16,000 on Bitcoin. I think especially if you're 95% sure call on the interest rates coming in at full 1%.
Yep.
I think Bitcoin will probably drop down to 16, 17,000.
At least retest this local low.
And in doing so, you'll probably find assets like Cardano down 15% from where they're at now. So low 30 cents on that one.
If we see 100 basis point rate hike, where's Ethereum sitting at? 1,000?
Probably 1,100.
Same thing.
I think once it gets to 1,0, like 1,000, and I think people are just there's gonna be too much buy orders down there.
Yeah.
I think people have saw in recent memory, or have in recent memory, the kind of like that FOMO feeling where they didn't get in at 1,000, and there's with the upgrade coming out, or the merge coming out, excuse me, that being successful. I mean, there's really not much you can say about not getting into Ethereum. I mean, realistically, it's long term. It's where you want to be, man. Right?
Yeah.
If throughput and scaling,
We're talking ETH or Cardano?
on ETH.
Yeah.
I mean, what argument can you make against Ethereum?
Well,
right?
there is some FUD, okay, and then
Yeah. Now,
we're gonna talk about all that.
So yeah, for me, I'm looking because major upgrade, and you didn't see the rally before. So if you looked at the case scenario with Ethereum, you had the big rally on the lead up, and if you look at
it did
Cardano,
hit 50 cents. Okay, it did rally to, I believe, to close to 49 or 50 cents.
But I mean,
this past
the,
week.
the rest of the market was also kind of also rallying as
Here's
well.
the thing, though, we're in a pretty deep winter.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, look at this. Look at this chart here. This doesn't look anything like Ethereum did. This 3-month chart. You get, saying this was the route. Like this right here was when this was like that bounce back. Or no, I guess that is the 50 cents one there.
Yeah.
And I mean, the lowest I've seen it was, was barely under 40 cents, man. And look at this chart, man. I mean, what time would you like to buy?
Is there a bad time to buy right now?
At this point,
I mean,
yeah. And then,
guys, we're talking about a 6. Hold on. We're talking about what I want you to understand something. Obviously, when you get higher in the market cap list, or the reward decreases, right? You have a higher rate of return potential investing in outside the top 50 than you do in the top 50, let alone the top 10.
This chart here,
we're talking about a 6x for a top 10 coin if it just reaches its all-time high. It did. Not even breaking new all-time highs.
I think this chart right here, this is what it's going to play out again next bull run. This here,
thing, though, we didn't really have blow off tops this bull run.
So this run up here, this right here, I think is what this is going to look like. This right here is going to be a little bump in the radar. It's going to, this 2017 run up, next bull run will look like this, and then this run up will look like the larger one, and then you'll just get this big rally. And I think. I
want to know,
and I think conservatively, $8 is probably
next bull market.
Okay, probably, and that's a 20x from where we're at now. And I mean, you look at where this is here. You're at 3 to 8 cents, 3 to 6 cents here for the course of 2 years, man. And so when you ask me, where am I going to buy? If I buy at 30 cents, like, did it really pain you to buy Cardano at 7 cents and then be like, and then see it at 3 cents later, be like, damn it, I'm broke now.
I mean, I get, it's all relative and this perspective, right? If you're buying a couple $1 million worth, sure. I want to know. So Robin thinks $8. I'm in more the $4 to $6 range for the next bull run. Chat, what do you guys think? Also, what do you think will be the top for Cardano in the next bull run?
And if you're a big Cardano fan, we do have the Cardano NFT convention, the CNFT here in Las Vegas. And that'll be on October the 8th and 9th. Yeah. And so if you're fans, you want to come out, the tickets are like $50. Like if you're looking...
50 ADA.
Yeah, 50 ADA. Oh,
$25.
So if you're looking to have an excuse to come to Las Vegas,
come hang out with us.
Yeah, come hang out with us. Come to the studio, and then visit the studio, and then we'll all go hang out at.
We'll take you guys. CNFT. We'll take you guys to a brunch.
David will take you to brunch.
You're gonna say that.
He's like brunch at the barbecue.
Nah, that Le Cave, bro. That place is bomb.
Yeah, Le Cave's pretty good. The wind's pretty good.
So Ding Dong Daddy thinks $15, extremely bullish, and then we have George says $5. I don't know. I don't think for Cardano to get to like over $10, it's going to need a lot more adoption, a lot. And I don't think a project like Cardano, who's taken their time, whose vision is so grand, they're literally trying to put an entire continent on their blockchain. It's going to take more than 2-3 years, in my opinion. So definitely think it's going to get there. It's $15, but not anytime soon. Also, one thing to keep in mind, guys, with Vasil, the biggest thing coming out of Vasil will be Hydra. It'll essentially allow every single stake pool operator to have 1,000 transactions per second. Multiply that by 3,000 stake pools. You have a little over 3 million transactions per second potential for Cardano, which is what it needs, high throughput and scalability, if it wants to accomplish everything it wants to accomplish. All right. I got anything else on ADA before I move on, Rob?
I'm good.
All right, so we introduced this segment last Monday. Our friend Forrest from Crypto Stackers will be highlighting a coin every single week, some news surrounding it. And so this week, We're talking Ethereum and some of the FUD surrounding it. So let's not waste any time. We'll watch the video. We'll come back and we'll discuss.
What's up, Sin City Crypto? I wanted to address in this video two concerns for Ethereum right now. We're seeing two really big pieces of FUD coming out for Ethereum after the proof of stake merge. There's some credence to the first one, less concern personally about the second one. Now, the first one is Ethereum less decentralized now after the proof of stake merge than it was previously on proof of work? And I would argue that yes, it is less decentralized. It is more centralized. According to our Ethereum post-merge inflation dashboard, 46% of the processing transactions can be attributed to just two addresses. So that's, I believe, Coinbase and Lido. Now, both of those are due to Coinbase and Lido being liquid staking derivatives. So what's a liquid staking derivative? Essentially, when you stake your Ethereum, you're depositing it into an Ethereum validator. You're delegating your Ethereum to a validator to help secure the network. Now, right now, for the next 6 to 12 months, you cannot actually withdraw your Ethereum from one of those validators once it is staked. Once it's staked, there's not a withdraw function yet. The Ethereum Foundation will be building that and launching that soon, sometime in the next year probably. Because of that, the popularity of liquid staking derivatives like Lido staked Ethereum have been very popular. Why? Because what you can do is you can just deposit your Ethereum in a Lido validator, and they will issue you a staked Ethereum, a liquid staking derivative that you can actually trade. So it gives you liquidity. It allows you to actually buy and sell that Ethereum that is meanwhile earning yield, right? Lido staked Ether still earns a large portion of the yield that Lido is receiving on their delegators. So because of that, people that are staking their Ethereum, rather than delegating it to a validator that is smaller or running their own validator, they're just depositing it with Lido or Coinbase because those liquid staking derivatives allow you the ability, right, to actually still buy and sell and earn yield, but they're also incredibly easy to stake at. So they've been very, very popular. Now, over time, I do expect competition to increase. Right? I believe Rocket Pool is another liquid staked derivative. So Rocket Pool RPL is the actual token, similar to Lido. But if we go to Rocket Pool ETH, RETH, it's another liquid staked derivative. Right? So the competition in this space is increasing. And I would encourage people, if you're going to deposit your Ethereum into a liquid staking derivative, to go with a smaller player like Rocket Pool. Don't use Lido, don't use Coinbase. It's only harming the centralization of the network. Now, two things. I expect this to be alleviated over time as more competing liquid staking protocols enter the space because it's a profitable business to run. And I would expect that once withdrawals are enabled, a lot of people, and Ethereum becomes more liquid, staked Ethereum just becomes more liquid because you can withdraw it from the delegator, there will be a big rebalancing, right? A lot of people will move will be incentivized in order to decentralize the network more, to move their staked Ethereum, right, withdraw it, and then redeposit it into a smaller delegator, right, or smaller validator, no, not delegator. So I do think this is an issue, but it's an issue that should improve over time. I don't expect this to continue to get worse. I expect this to only improve over time. The second piece of FUD that's been coming out is Ethereum a security? Well, there's not a very clear, strict definition on what constitutes a security. Right now, the test that is used to identify whether or not something is a security is the Howey test. The Howey test is a three-pronged test. I know we kind of have four prongs here in this Investopedia definition, but these last two prongs are essentially, to be combined, right? So if you meet all three or four of these prongs, you're a security. But if you don't meet just one of them, you're not a security, right? That's the definition that's being used right now. So the Howey test requires that there's an investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profit to be derived from the effort of others. Now, Ethereum, there's an investment of money. That we meet that problem. No problem. I have no problem meeting that. With the expectation of profit, sure, that makes sense. But in a common enterprise and to be derived by the efforts of others is up for debate. Very gray area. And number 4 is, pretty clear in my opinion that it is not necessarily derived from the efforts of others. Okay, so there's a great website called isethereumsecurity.com that goes through each of these points at length. So obviously, an investment of money, we meet that prong, right? But the next one, in a common enterprise, this website argues that Ethereum is not a security because it is not a common enterprise. So the only commonality argument that exists is that there is some sort of common enterprise among validators running the network and a cooperative mechanic between validators validating a transaction. However, as those are distinct and post facto to the development of the network's code, these validators cannot sufficiently be found to be promoters in any established sense of the term, right? So there's kind of multiple enterprises going on right here. You've got the Ethereum Foundation, which manages an open source code base, and then you've got validators, which are a different enterprise, right? And each of these validators are potentially a different enterprise in and of themselves, right? So Ethereum does not meet this prong. It'd be very difficult to argue this, and it'd be, in my opinion, very difficult for the SEC to come in and prove conclusively that Ethereum does meet these prongs. The last prong is an expectation of profit. Sure, there's an expectation of profit derived from the efforts of others. There's a strong argument that Ethereum does not meet this prong. And the reason being, it's kind of summarized in this last paragraph here. Therefore, we believe it is undeniable that the maintaining of an Ethereum validator, which has the additional burden and complexity of uptime and accuracy requirements, should also be viewed as the key managerial effort and therefore does not meet this prong. If you've ever mined crypto or you've ever run a validator, you know that it requires a lot of management. Right, you have to make sure it's updated. You have to make sure that you've got your power stays on. You've got to make sure it's running smoothly. You've got to make sure everything's running the right code. It is not easy to just set it and forget it. A lot of times issues come up, and you've got to restart your node, and you're also risking money when you do that because you have downtime, your Ethereum stake is potentially going to be slashed. So this is a lot of effort to run a validator. So this, to me, does not meet this prong, right? So I am not worried in the slightest about the secondary piece of FUD here about Ethereum as a security. I think it would be very, very difficult. And I think the SEC knows it would be very, very difficult for them to come in and prove that Ethereum is a security because it would be unlike any security that we've ever seen before because it's very, very different. With that, we'll see you on Friday at the live stream. Peace.
All right. So, a lot of things to uncover there, okay? We talked about the whole Howey test on Friday and on Thursday. For some reason, I can't get that. So, Robin, common enterprise, and I want to focus on the effort of others. Can I argue, and I'm not saying this is what I believe in, can't I argue that we are depending on the validators and delegators to secure the network? And so we are essentially depending on the work of other people. What would your rebuttal be to that?
Well, it is, okay, Ethereum and cryptocurrency essentially is software. And software needs to be managed, updated, it needs to stay relevant. And in doing so, there needs to be a group of individuals that provide maintenance. And essentially that's what we have here. And you can even take copper as an example where you have a commodity and you leave copper out and outside, look at the Statue of Liberty. It turns green. If you leave iron outside, it'll rust. And so you need an outside influence to make sure that a commodity, that's what it is, essentially stays effective. And especially with software, is that it electricity is a commodity, you know that?
Right. Yeah.
And you need somebody to maintain the power grid. You need somebody to maintain the infrastructure. Doesn't mean that it's all of a sudden a security, because somebody has to provide transformers and things of that nature.
It's like gold, right?
So
People, and just to draw a comparison real quick, it's like validators validating Ethereum. You need the miners who mine gold. You are depending on them too, right?
Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah, you have to have a mining company to mine gold.
It's so flawed. It is so flawed. The whole Howey test. It needs to be redone.
I mean, I understand how they came to that conclusion as far as the SEC. Like, I don't agree with it, but I understand. Because if you look at a publicly traded company, you have a board member that are made up of shareholders. The CEO is appointed by the shareholders, and whoever has the most shares, over 51% of shares of a company, can essentially decide the direction. And if the if the founder, for example, sells all of his shares, then basically the shareholders, the investors, are the ones that run the company, which is your standard blueprint for when it comes to publicly traded companies and securities. And so you can make a parallel and be like, well, the people that are invested, that are holding Ethereum, are the ones that are making the decisions. And so for that reason, I see why the conversation is there. I don't agree with it because, you can make an argument. And an argument is that there's two sides. You don't have an argument with yourself unless you're crazy. But generally, an argument, there's two sides. And, one person can be delusional and one person can be making valid points. It's still an argument. So there is another side to the story. And I could see their perspective. But to be realistic, Ethereum is more utility than it is anything else. You use the Ethereum token for one, to secure the network, to provide security, to make sure that it validates blocks, and it does so in a way that it incentivizes the people that validate, that if it isn't done correctly, you're going to be punished. And so that's how they secure the network. And then on top of it, to facilitate transactions, you need to use Ethereum as a gas fee. So you need to use it to power the network. And then, you can have ERC20 tokens in the form of NFTs, which are data that are stored. So you can use the Ethereum token to store data.
For me,
and so, there's a wide range of utility and use case that comes from the Ethereum token. And a security is a contract. It's an investment contract. And I'll tell you what, I have repeatedly bought Ethereum simply to make transactions, to pay for the transaction fee. And that was the cost of facilitating a transaction. And I did not purchase Ethereum as an investment. I purchased it to facilitate that transaction. So in that definition right there, not a security.
For me, the biggest, if I were to say concern, would be legislative concern, government concern. So as Robin and Forrest mentioned, ETH is more centralized now than it was when it was a proof of work blockchain. And so if you listen to Gary Gensler speaking to the Senate Banking Committee, he talked about centralization. He essentially said the more centralized it is, it's essentially a security. And so we're going to look at, the SEC is going to look at ETH being more centralized. You have the issue of two wallets, right? Coinbase and Lido handle almost 50% of all validation, okay, is handled by two wallet addresses. And you have Gary Gensler breathing down their neck. To me, that is what if I were to be nervous about something, it would be that. It would be Ethereum labeled as a security, which is obviously we know Gary Gensler has been on that train for a long time now. And I think so. Obviously, with the merge and ETH going to proof of stake, a lot of good will come out of it. The whole energy thing becomes more efficient, more scalable, but also there are going to be some drawbacks. I think when ETH was proof of work, I don't think you were getting any pushback from anyone saying that it was a commodity. Now you're starting to see that pushback. You're starting to see the SEC trying to walk back on their previous comments they made about Ethereum being a commodity. And you can see now when they talk about it, they only mention Bitcoin, whereas they used to mention Bitcoin and Ethereum and then everything else. So something to keep our eye on, but we'll see. I do think as time goes by, it will become more decentralized. For the time being, it's more centralized. It is what it is. That's part of it. So
I have a question, quick question. So when they say, oh, they're going to now go and try to catch Ethereum, they're going to go and for them. Who's them? Who's Ethereum? Who's controller from?
the Ethereum Foundation, they would go.
But they're not the one that had their ICO and anything like that, right?
Yeah, but you gotta
a group of
you gotta
people
bring
that-
someone. I mean, Vitalik, obviously, he's a co-founder. They're gonna bring if they were to. Okay, so if they ever wanted to bring anyone in to question them, the SEC, they were bringing Vitalik.
But there is a headquarters, like I know Ripple has a headquarters in San Francisco. Where is the Ethereum Foundation? I mean, how you can go against these people? Where it's like, and it's not like Bitcoin. There is no place to go. That's my question. I don't know
Yeah,
where-
but Bitcoin, we know who the founder of Ethereum is. We know there's an Ethereum Foundation. We know some of the developers. We know Vitalik. Bitcoin, you don't know anyone.
Well, I think before the Ethereum Foundation is what it is now,
Yeah, before
it went to the founders, and so the founders of Ethereum was Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson, Anthony Lorio,
Lubin,
and
too.
Joseph Lubin, and so they predominantly got most of it. And so those individuals, the securities lawsuits that are put on to cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency relevant SEC lawsuits are for the tokens for the ICOs. And so later on, it's different. But what they're trying to sue people for, at least in Ripple's case, and a handful of other cases that have come down, is with the sale, the public sale, and the sale of the tokens. And so, who would be the ones to gain would be the ones that were receiving big chunks of the tokens at sales. So it would be Vitalik, Gavin, Charles, Lorio, and Lubin. So
We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. Wait,
surprised about what?
that if they would call all those people in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here at the end of the day, I think I think the SEC knows it's a losing battle. I don't see them going after them. They're already struggling with Ripple Labs, XRP. That lawsuit is probably not going to end in their favor. And Ethereum would be such a stretch, especially with the former SEC chairman announcing that Ethereum was a commodity and that they weren't concerned about regulating it. I mean, I know now times have changed and went to proof of stake, but nothing is.
That's what the SEC is going to do, though, Rob. That's
But
what,
no,
I'm,
but
that's
here's
what
the
they're going to
thing.
hang their hat on.
No, but even
What
though
they're
I
going
went
to say is, yeah, the Hinman said it when it was proof of work. Well, now it's proof of stake. Things change.
they're not. You think they're going to go after them?
No, I'm not saying they're going to
Yeah,
go after
they're
them.
not-
I'm
they're
saying
not- they're not.
if they're going to try to walk back.
they
No,
have-
what I'm saying is if
I'm
they're going to
saying-
try to walk back on their statement, they're going to reference that.
Yes,
gonna be their
they
out.
would, and that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, they did go to proof of stake. That's the one difference now. But I mean, realistically, there's on the horizon. There are multi-billion-dollar crypto projects out here that would be a much easier litigation battle when it comes to the SEC. And we're not talking about small potatoes here. I mean, you could say Solana.
Yeah.
I mean, Polkadot. I mean, you could make the argument for Polygon, avalanche. I mean,
You made the argument for Cardano.
yeah, and all of these projects are, at least $4 billion in market cap. So these are not small companies, that are behind the launch of them.
Let me ask you this question.
What's up?
If
And
SEC,
so yeah, Ethereum's just way too out of their league as far as being able to win a lawsuit.
what if SEC wins against Ripple? Do you think they'd go after Ethereum?
No.
They will
No.
go after everybody.
I think you know what? I don't know. I'd have to think about doomsday scenario on that.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I want the chat's been a little quiet. If Ripple lost to the SEC, would the SEC go after Ethereum? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let us know.
I'm a firm believer that the Ripple will win that, but you know what?
I believe
I
so,
will
too.
say this. This is a U.S. federal court that is hearing the trial with a U.S. federal branch
Right.
prosecuting. So, anyways, there's a lot of people that know people. There's a lot to gain and a lot to lose for the American government if they were to lose this case or win the case, basically. So,
Yeah, someone mentioned Ian Bellina, and the SEC is now going after people as well. We're not going to talk about that situation, but yeah, there was news today that he's the founder of Token Metrics. The SEC is filed a lawsuit against him for some ICO back in 2018. So there's all the money the SEC got looks like what the IRS did. They hired more people to come after people and companies, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Now, we talked about Ripple, and we have some good news with the court case. The case heads for a conclusion finally. Finally, this is sourced from Cointelegraph. Ripple and the SEC have both called for a summary judgment from Judge Torres. Now, what are summary judgments? They are submitted when a party believes there's enough evidence to make a ruling without a trial. Stuart Alderodi, which is part of the Ripple board, noted that, quote, after 2 years of litigation, the SEC is unable to identify any contract for investment and cannot satisfy a single prong of the Supreme Court Howey test. Robin, I think it's safe to say we all just want this thing to be over.
all right. So, a couple things I got to say here. For one, and it's all going to tie in together. I know you think it. I know you think I'm going to be off on a tangent here.
Okay.
I got to tie something in here.
All right, here we go. I'm just going to move my mic
All
out of the
right,
way.
you ready? First of all, I got the new iPhone 14. Okay, I got the new iPhone. It's got a beautiful camera. And you might be asking yourself, what does this have to do with XRP? Well, when you buy a new iPhone, you have to transfer over all the data from one phone to the other. So the service individual named Jared, very nice gentleman, he was transferring it over. And, I'm sitting there, I got 20 minutes to burn for this transfer. I'm like, what's up, bro? You got some crypto? He's like, I got an XRP. I'm like, let's go. Let's go. He's got some XRP. So the gentleman at AT&T had forecasted that this lawsuit will be over in March of next year. If he is more than just an expert when it comes to cellular data, he is also perhaps an expert when it comes to the timeline of the resolution of this court case.
What? What are you saying? You're saying the AT&T guy knows when the court case is settling?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Gomez? What are you smoking, bro?
Hey, man, he was very.
You just wanted to show off your new iPhone. Good job. Round of applause for Robin. He's got an iPhone, guys.
I did. Got 3 cameras.
I'm like, where is this going? Okay. Anyways, we all want to see this thing come to an end soon. Now, are you happy it's not going to trial? Like, obviously, both parties have to agree to a summary judgment, and they both agreed. So it's like they're not disputing facts, they're not disputing any evidence, and they're like, hey, we can settle this without a trial. Do you think this is more positive for Ripple or for the SEC? And I know you're not a lawyer, so are you a lawyer?
Yeah, I exactly what you said there at the end. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what that plays out. All I know is that the experts, the lawyers that I have tuned into, the insight from former SEC chairman and employees and people that are well versed in all of this say it ain't looking good for the SEC. And that week after week, this gap between the SEC and Ripple Labs is getting further and further. And it's becoming more and more apparent that SEC's got less and less of a leg to stand on. Now, I can't sit here and point out what happened this week in the court case versus last week and why that's so impactful, but I can just tell you, it ain't looking good. It's shaping up to play out in the SEC's favor, and this ain't just from one source. This is from sources outside of crypto as well. When it comes to like Bloomberg, CNN, they're echoing the same thing. And I'm telling you, when this thing plays out, you got the SEC thing playing out, then perhaps we get a Bitcoin spot ETF, the halving coming up next year. Things are this timeline somewhere mid 2023. It's playing to rally, man. And I'm telling you, the market is gearing up to moonshot, my dude.
Yeah. Also, if you guys are not familiar with Jeremy Hogan, is the lawyer that kind of follow all the lawsuits with XRP. So you guys, he just pulled out a video yesterday. He can explain in details everything, and yeah, a lot of knowledge, really.
Big J Dog.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I got, brother.
Here's a little update. All right, before we sign off.
Oh, by the way, one last thing. I will be on Around the Blockchain today at 2 p.m. Vegas time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So first of all, we'd love you to come out and support BitBoy and his channel. He's one of our favorites.
Here's the thing. Love him, love him or hate him, the guy gives a platform for smaller channels to get exposure. So love him or hate him. Anyways, membership me, please. Well, today doesn't look like it's your lucky day, but tomorrow might be your lucky day. Crypto next, so make sure you come back. Jimmy says he's a member for 2 months, a whale member for 2 months. Crypto Billy, are you in here?
Yeah.
Crypto Billy.
He upgraded to the whale pass.
We want to give some love to our friend Crypto Billy. Also, make sure to check out our merch store. If you want to be a member, the link is in the description. And also, go join our Discord, a community-ran Discord. Our friend Marky Mark took the initiative, set that up. We appreciate you, Mark. We love you. Before we sign off, I want to share a little snippet of our video. Rocco, will you take that note thing away from me? Rocco? There we go. All right. So, make sure you go watch this video, okay? But I want to go to a little Bitcoin rap right here. This is funny. All right, so in Vegas, there's so many bridges and crossways and to go, and so usually on a bridge, there's always someone, whether they're playing music, rapping, drums, whatever the case may be. They make their money on tips. So this is a duo of rappers we saw.
This is our friend Ines, and he is gonna freestyle us. And I want you to freestyle about Bitcoin. Can you make it happen?
Bitcoin, you gotta conjoin, you gotta perform at levels beyond. Study the market like you're that old white man. I forgot his name, but he's probably on Forbes. You gotta watch his hand. You gotta see the newspaper watching the market like a stock. That's how it is. Just watch before you cop.
What are your thoughts on crypto?
Yeah, hold on. Roll back again.
Explain yourself.
Roll back to
It's a scam.
This
Why
dude
is
was
it a scam?
hilarious.
Put that market like you're that old white.
Go all the way back to the beginning. Look, pause it.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I know where you're going.
Nope, no luck. This is our friend Ines, and he is gonna free.
Pause it. That dude in the back was so blasted.
He was blasted. All right, so
He was on a
Listen to
bridge,
this.
on top of the bridge, if you know what I'm saying.
Listen to this. This dude, they were introducing themselves. It's like, "What's your name?" Was loud. He goes, and he said his name. I thought he said missionary. I'm like, missionary? He goes, no, visionary. I thought the dude's name was missionary.
Sneak peek at next week. We are we are going to.
Guys,
It's me.
listen.
I'm the
listen,
one with the mics next week.
Listen, this weekend was Mexican Independence Weekend. Huge fight. A lot of people from Latin America, Latinos. You know their culture, music, dancing, food. Wait till you see what Robin did. Wait till you see what this dude did.
Also, big shout out to Jimmy with a 5-piece membership giveaway.
Okay.
And you know what? Chris just came early for CryptoNeck and also IV Tech for fun. They,
Ask and you
now
shall
members as
receive.
well.
This is one of the reasons why we are the best community out there. I will fight to the death on and fall on that sword. All right. Yeah, the Bitcoin scam guy was funny. He kept saying, my grandpa was a millionaire. I wanted to be like, well, what happened to you then, my man? You're out here passing cards out on the Las Vegas Boulevard, but I don't want to be rude. Anyways, Rocco.
He's like, I'll be rude on the live show.
Rocco. Friends, family, friends of family, and family of friends, we thank you so much for starting your week with us here at Sin City Crypto. Make sure, go watch the video. A lot of time went into it. Share it on social media. Share it with your friends. Share it with your dog. On behalf of myself, Robin, and the Don, we love you guys. We'll see you on Around the Blockchain in 2 hours and 15 minutes. Until then, peace.
See you.